Welcome back. And actually, as we mentioned in the very beginning, we have also an interesting topic to be discussed, talking about the role of the civil social institutions and the role it can play. Well, we're not only talking about charity, but actually we're talking about how everyone can have his effective role in the society. Well, today we have the pleasure to have with us Dr. برادة, and she will tell us actually more about this topic. First of all, good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Dr. Fátima, if you can tell us first of all about the significance of the role of civil society groups in general and specifically during Ramadan.
Good morning. I want to say that the NGO in Egypt, they have a very good impact for the society and during all the year, but of course in Ramadan is something different. First of all, we have all the year we do the NGO do a lot of awareness campaign, yes, awareness seminar in the very poor area. For example, we are doing in El Haggana. It's a very crowded area and very poor. We do with the help of the Ministry of Health awareness seminar to instruct the woman for about vaccination, for example, about the disease, how to act and to with their children and so on. And after that, we do also with the Ministry of Health a lot of not awareness, a convoy. For example, we bring a lot of doctors from the Ministry of Health to do some convoy in this poor area and to prevent the pressure on the governmental hospital, you know. The Ministry of Health, they provide us with doctors in several fields. For example, this is in the field of health. In the field of education, for example, we do a lot of awareness about illiteracy, and we do classes to help people how to know to write and read, and our target is the woman especially, because the woman, she wants to work and she doesn't have anything to do, so we help her to have an ID. First of all, a lot of women, national ID they don't have. We provide her, we help her in an easy way to have an ID, and after that we give her a small loan, a very credit loan, for example 3,000, and to help her to have to learn her how to deal with this, and after that, if it succeeds, it's multiply, you know. And we have also in the field of how do you call it, training and qualification. For example, we have associations. They have field. They have machines. For example, we bring the children and they want to have a job. We learn them. We have a very certificate vocational training, and we give her a certificate at the end, and we can provide them with job also. And for example, also in sports, we have in the 10th of Ramadan in the Ministry of Sports, the minister himself, he did for us a very big project. Really, we have now a football game and football volley and some basket, for example. And during Ramadan, of course, we do
tournaments.
Yes, دورة رمضانية, tournaments of Ramadan, because we are surrounded by factories. All the factories, they came and they participate with the children, and they have iftar with them, for example, and they do games after the iftar.
This is only for the holy month of Ramadan, but what about the normal? I mean, For example, definitely you are facing some challenges, for example, on dealing with the families, and especially we have just been talking about the education for the children themselves, and I know that you have your own experience with the children, orphans or street children, unfortunately we call them like this. So what kind of challenges are you facing?
A lot of challenges, of course, because the children, they don't want to go to school.
Yes, definitely the willingness itself.
So,
To have the will that you want to learn or to go to school or to learn something.
no, they want to escape from the school, of course, because all the environment encourage this. For example, if we go to the school, you can find a lot of, how do you call it, not a club, a small shop for games, for example, to attract the children, and the children, instead of going to the school, they go to this game. And even one of the school, they said to me, please call the governor of Cairo to close all this small shop during the morning, because they encourage people to escape from school to go to play.
And the school cannot control the students?
No, she cannot control, of course. How she will control? He escaped from the morning and he go for playing PlayStation and so on. She can do anything. This is one of the biggest problem for the school. They cannot manage with the children. One of the main problem.
What about the family or the parents themselves? I mean, in dealing with them, for example, sometimes we know that there are certain families, they don't want to send their children to the schools. They prefer them to go to work to bring money, for example.
Of course.
Force the child labor.
Yes, of course.
How do you deal with them?
We are trying to provide the family itself with work. For example, if the father is not working, for example, we provide him with work. If the woman, she wants to work, we provide her to how we learn her something to do it. She can do it if we give her a small loan, she can do a small project in her house, for example. When they have money, they can afford to bring their children to the school. It's financial problem. It's financial one.
Doctor, speaking about finance, does any of the civil society groups here in Egypt receive foreign funding?
Of course, yes. We have received, but we have to have. We are dealing with the Ministry of Social Affairs.
Social solidarity.
Yes, and we have to bring this loan, and we have to have the agreement. We cannot allow to act accordingly. No, we have to go to the ministry to have the approval itself.
How can we apply this all the year round? I mean, not only during the holy month of Ramadan. Can we achieve this?
I don't understand.
Can we achieve all these activities and just to persuade people to go to school and to offer them sports tournaments and all of this all the year round? I mean, not only Ramadan.
Of course, we are doing.
Are we doing this?
Yes, of course, we are doing. For example, in my association, the boys, they are learning how to do karate, for example. They play karate. And I have another surprise. We are playing football, and they are training for football. And last year we went to Brazil because we found that there is before the Mondial of the football.
World Cup, yes.
Yes, before of 3 months they have a cup for the street children, for example.
Yeah. There was a tournament organized for street children.
Yes, we were very astonished that we discovered this. But we went. We are trying to have practice all the year, and we went to the Brazil, and I went for them. And there is
tell us more about this experience.
It was a lovely experience. I have the picture with me.
And what about funding and all of these expenses?
Could you imagine a boy who doesn't find to eat, for example?
And he goes to Brazil.
And he went to Brazil. It really, it was an experience. and we were 20 teams, and the first day we play against Brazil. Of course, we will never win. We lost, but 5-1. And next day, the Brazil win another game, another
team.
I don't know which country, but they win 20. So I was very proud of my children. It was a very, very good experience, of course. They stay for 10 days surrounded by all. Yes, yes. And one of the famous football in Brazil, he came and he played with them, but I don't know the name, sorry. But he came, but the children, they know him. I was very astonished that they know his name. Of course, for me, I don't know the name.
And they were playing under the name of Egypt.
Yes, yes, 10 boys.
Yeah.
And the experience itself is to see these people, to exchange experience with them, and they have a swimming pool, they have a lot of fun.
So
no, you can't
how
imagine.
did you see, you know, after they visited such a place, just as you mentioned right now, anything changed in their personality of the children? Or?
Of course, they are willing to continue to have sports always, and to have training, because they have the chance, maybe they will have the chance to go another time, because they are small and they are not.
What age?
Instead of focusing on drugs and
of course.
smoking, focusing on doing good habits.
Yes, good habits, of course. And now we are also dealing with them in the opera with the Slim Sahab. They offer us, he bring a lot of children, and they do for them, how do you call it, exam,
vocal training.
And he choose some of them, and they have training every week. They go twice or 3 times per week to go to learn how to think with Mr. Slim Sahab. Of course, this is one of the beautiful project, because instead of going to the street, they have another hope in this. You know, this is something. The art is something very refined. You know, I don't know. They became another person.
To upgrade their emotions.
Yes.
Even. But what age are we talking about?
Teenagers, and from 10, for example, to.
And how do you select the children, or is it open for anyone who would like to join, or what?
No, Mr. Slim Sahab, they do anything.
No, I mean in general, in all these activities.
No, we accept anything. No, if somebody is gone.
If no one came, for example, do you select on your own? You have a certain area that you are working on, or what?
No, in the poor area, for example, Sayyida Zainab, Al-Haggana, we know, because we invented something called the mobile unit. We took it's like a bus, but where we can find food, for example, a hot meal, for example, some if they have injury or something like that. And we can deal with them in small first aid, yes, for help. And we begin to talk with the children, and they are very surprised that we want to talk with them, and we want to nothing. We give them food, for example.
Yes.
They ask it, why you give us food? You don't want something in
return?
In return, we said no, because the law of the street, it's everything they have to have something back. We bring these children. They want to stay with us. They have family. These children, they have family, but for a social problem, for financial problems, they go to the street.
They prefer the street than staying with their family. Maybe because they are subjected to violence, or
maybe. And the mother is married to another man. The father is married to another woman. They don't want to stay at home. Of course, violence, one of the main problem we see it in the family. But it's not only the money. No, it's. For example, sometimes we find children from a good family, for example.
And why did they decide to go to the street?
Because they like freedom. They like freedom. In this age,
And this is
freedom-
another challenge, because just because they are, when they experience the freedom in the street, and especially they are earning very good amount of money, you can never convince them that yes, I can offer you a job and
Yes.
you will only gain, for example, 10 pounds a day or 20 pounds a day, because he can earn more. So do you think we can work on this as well as one of the main challenges?
If the child is in the street for a small period, you can do something. But if he is in the street for a long period, it's
No
finished.
way back.
No way. So we get used to this kind of life, freedom. He is doing everything he wants. He can drugs, for example, whatever. But if it is a very small period, we can do something for him.
I think also talking about, because you mentioned two different areas, maybe in the future, for example, you have some plans to include some more areas, or how do you arrange it actually?
We have, of course, several. I have 17 branches. Alexandria, for
There
example.
are certain places that are really very far away.
I have in the 10th of Ramadan, for example. But in the 10th of Ramadan is very good, because it's an area surrounded by a lot of industry. What do you call it? مصانع.
And
the
the factories.
Factories, yes, factories. All these factories, they bring, for example, food for them. They bring whatever. It's very good. During this, the winter, they go to school or the university. But in the summer, we have a place.
We need to work as a summer camp for them, just for
Not a summer camp. We have machines, for example, and we learn them for electricity, for wood, for several things. And then when they practice in our association, they go and they find job in the factory all surround. They earn money, and when they grow up, this money is for them. We help all our children until they get married, and we bring them. We can provide
Well,
them.
definitely, this is something, yes, of great importance. And actually, talking about the role of the civil society and the social responsibility, this is something of great importance, just to all of us to work together to help each other. So, Dr. Fátima Barada, thank you very much for joining us for today. And Karim?
Yes, dear viewers, by this we wrap up today's episode of The Breakfast Show. Just a quick recap of what we discussed. We talked about the projection of the population and its impact on the development of the economy and population growth. And also we talked about the role of the civil society groups here in Egypt, not only in Ramadan, but all year long. Dear viewers, you're in the company of Nashwa Rashid and Karim Gamal. Until we meet again, this is a very good one.